Cause this, don't need my dog sleeping in here and eating all my snacks like last time. So it was cool when you did that. Go. Looks like I brought the cold back up from Texas. It was actually kind of warm, and now it's fucking cold again. At least the last few days it was warm. I got to grab my charger right here. Shit. Alright. I'll put another layer on. Because it do be cold. Ugh. Damn. That's the first time I'm wearing this hat. It's actually a gift my brother got me for Christmas. Just because I was leaving early. Well, not early, but you know, leaving for a vacation in Texas instead. But it's actually nice and warm, and it fits me perfectly. Because I used to have a hat like this a long time ago, but it was just barely perfect for my head. And now this one actually fits nice and snug. I like it. I like that, Evans. I like that, Holmes. There, get this all plugged in. There we go. Cool. I just had like a drop of coffee and my stomach's already bubbling. It's like damn. Oh, not this one. Let's do this. Here, what should we have? What? Do some of this. You have some with me? No? I'm just saying what's up. What's up? Man, as soon as you realized it was like a karaoke stream last night, you were just like, no, fuck that. Fucking Mr. Totally Fun at Parties guy over here. So, as soon as AC/DC's Big Balls came up, you're just like, nope. It was barely tolerable watching these as it is. And now this. So I'll admit, I thought that was kind of funny. Never been to a party? That's bullshit. There are plenty of things that you have partaken that are definitely parties. So don't fucking lie. It's true. According to the shit you've told me, no, it's not. It might not be like, you know, like 100-something people or like a dozen people type of party, but it's still nonetheless a party. At the very minimal, a fucking kickback. Never been an official party. But there's nothing that makes a party official. It's a party if you want to call it a party, and as far as I'm concerned, it's some of the shit that you've done hanging out with your buddies and shit back in the day seems like it would qualify as that. What are you listening to? Ska? No, it's not sex music. This is actually, like, kind of a more sadder song. It's called Eviction. I mean, it's about, you know, being evicted by the landlord piece of shit. And, you know, basically, I mean, it's a pretty self-explanatory song. Sad Latino. Because ska, like, reggae and like ska tend to have a lot of overlap with Latino sound, especially ska, because ska is basically like a lot of incorporation of a lot of Latino slash reggae style sounds and structure into punk. It's kind of what the Slackers are. They're kind of, they're a reggae ska band specifically. They have like the punk overlaps, but they're more or less specifically around that. But a lot of punk bands and other ska bands, you know, hang out with them and go on tour with them and shit. Because they slap. Like, ska shows are pretty much the one place you could find someone like me, you know, who's got, like, you know, punk vests and punk battle jackets with pins, patches everywhere. And then you'll get someone who's literally in formal attire, dressed up in a business suit. It's the one, like, ska shows are the one place you will find such a, like, such an extreme of looks. You get, like, the punks with the, you know, spiky hair and the piercings and all that shit, and then you just get, like, business suit dressing looking dudes. I'm being serious, like, the ska shows and some punk shows do be like that. It's pretty fun, though. It's pretty cool. That episode of Gathered Juggalos? Yeah. Happens at metal shows, too. Honestly, like, at least depending on who's playing as, like, a metal show, you'll get, like, your stereotypical metalheads with their, you know, battle vests, you know, and their patched up vests and shit like that, long hair, you know, and all that. At the same time, it's also where you can find a lot of nerdy-ass looking motherfuckers. I've definitely like, seen the most nerdiest looking D&D playing motherfuckers ever at metal shows. I mean, like, straight up, too. Like, I mean, like, full on, like, how are you not at, like, some game center playing D&D right now? To be elitist as fuck about the music. Yeah, and I honestly, yeah, like, out of all the elite, like, music elites, like, metalheads unfortunately tend to be really annoying. And this is coming from a metalhead. Like, I mean, there really is, you know, like, hold on, man. There really is, like, a strong, like, kind of elitist thing, because, like, some people literally, like, look at certain genres and be like, this is the bane of all metal. Like, honestly, there's one band that, despite being metal, like, overtly and literally in every sense of the goddamn word, you know, there's, like, a weird, you know, like, elitist thing about Sabaton. Like, I mean, like, there are legit, like, a subgroup of metalheads, and this is probably the biggest, you know, group of elites of metal, where they will look at Sabaton and be like, that's not metal. It's like kiddie shit. It's like Baby's First Step metal. It's just like, huh? It's like, I mean, talking about, you know, war and, you know, and, like, you know, music about history and shit like that. You know, it's like, I mean, it's like a lot of bands, you know, will have songs and stuff like that, you know, every now and then. It's like the one band that actually, like, makes it their thing to basically kind of, like, teach history and music. And sound badass at the same time. So it's like, and they're certainly metal. They've been pretty foundational in power metal too, especially when it comes to a lot of progression styles. When it comes to metal, you know, or at least when it comes to power metal. So it is more like Baby's First metal. Honestly, it's kind of hard to really say what is, like, Baby's First metal, like the baby steps, you know, of, like, getting into it. Because for me, it was 3 bands that are metal bands, but are completely different genres. My first 3 that I heavily listened to was Iron Maiden first, Rammstein, and then Nightwish. I think in that order, actually, like, when I discovered them. So it's like, I mean, but I mean, I got into metal literally from 3 completely different metal genres, and those were my little baby steps into metal. I mean, honestly, I'd say Nightwish is probably a legit, like, you know, maybe your first steps into metal, because it's symphonic metal, so it's easier to listen to. In that sense, I guess. Because, I mean, there's a little bit of something, you know, that isn't just metal in there that, you know, someone can tap into and make it a little bit more of an easier listen. Though, I mean, Nightwish's got such a fat, huge discography that, I mean, honestly, they're, at this point, could probably at least be, you know, something that they have for everybody. So that was my first taste of metal, Motley Crue. Yeah, I'd say they're a pretty decent, like, introduction to that as well. I mean, honestly, like, any of the classic bands that kind of helped foundate, you know, metal and hard rock and shit like that, I mean, they're always going to be kind of like the first steps, because they quite literally were, like, the first foundational steps to these genres. So, I mean, I guess just off of the technical sense of just music, you know, like, those bands would technically be the first steps to it. Though a lot of them took it to the extra level, especially when it came to things like the thrash scene in the Bay Area and stuff like that. Nirvana was overrated, while overrated was one of my first steps into grunge. I mean, I get why Nirvana can be seen as overrated, but there's, I think, a reason for it. Like, if there's a band that legit has a reason to be overrated, Nirvana would probably be it. Locally, it's just a bit less well known, is also one of them. Yeah. That's why I just find, you know, like, just like Elisa music kind of annoying in general. I mean, because honestly, it's all subjective at the end of the day, right? So it's like, I mean, like, why take it so fucking seriously? You know what I mean? That's how I, you know, see it. I mean, because there's plenty of things, you know, or like plenty of genres and bands and shit that, you know, I personally am not a fan of, but hey, I still love talking about the history of it sometimes, or just talking about it in general. It's because fun. Music be fun. Because me being a metalhead can listen to, like, you know, shit like that, and then listen to some ska, you know, the next day. So it's like, I mean, I'm not picky about it. I just like because it's fun. And enjoyable. Do I think it's just because I'm also a musician? I mean, it's one of those things where it's just kind of ingrained into my blood. As much as I hate it, man, I love me some Papa Roach. I mean, don't be like, I hate to admit it, it's like, whatever. I might, like, poke fun at you a little bit, but whatever. Also before he became preachy as fuck. I mean, a lot of those type of dudes kind of became weird, preachy, like, saved from God fucking dudes. It's like, oof. Oof. Fucking nose, dude. Oh. To get off drugs, find some gourd. Because that, you know, because why not? You know, when we got nothing else, just, you know, just find something else. Find something else that ain't the drugs. We'll just use God as our drug. At least drugs are real amount. Yeah, at least, you know, you can get something out of that. Instead of just, like, a complete full-on fake-ass fantasy. Because at least you can create, you know, a little bit of a weird little fantasy in your head, you know, when it comes to, like, you know, doing a drug, depending on what it is. At least with psychedelics. You know, speaking of you know, I guess, quote-unquote, supernatural things and shit. And, because today is 123 123. I mean, for those that, you know, think numerology has anything worth a fuck, I mean, that's a thing now. How exciting. Last day of the year is a fancy little number of 123 123. Which, I definitely know this much. There's, you know, like, the idea that, you know, like, next year is going to be any easier than, this past year is definitely going to be kind of silly. Definitely going to be a rough one. It is an election year, too, so, it's just like, oh, fucking boy. Pheromones, eating, duster, I don't hear him more than once. Oh, Nikki 6. Yeah, there's been a few times where they've literally had to, like fucking resuscitate him or some shit. I'm pretty sure. I think there was one point where he actually legit kind of did die for a minute. Goofy dog. Goofy little mutt. Yeah, he describes that in the book. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, because I remember, my brother mentioned that to me once. I don't think he's like met Nikki 6, but I know he's I think he's like helped kind of like, you know, work on one of the radio projects, some with him or some shit. I forgot what. I have to double back and ask him about it. It was wake up call, I need to get clean. Well, I would imagine, like, if you legit, like, die and then wake up, you know, realize, oh shit, my friends just revived me. Like, yeah, I probably would too. I mean, I'll straight up just, like, be like, no. It's like, this is probably my time to just say enough of this. When you have a big regret like that, you know, I mean, or at least a big fuck up like that in general, I mean, that's definitely going to be like a wake up call. There have been musicians in the 80s on the drugs, though. I feel like that's what people say all the fucking time with, you know, older rock bands. What are you doing? What are you doing, Dougal? So, right when I saw him in 2014. Oh, God, fucking needy dog. Damn. Really? Ugh. God, you're needy. There you go. Seemed alright when I saw them. Yeah, I mean, like, when I saw Kiss live, I mean, they were pretty fucking good and shit, too, themselves. I'm sure they, you know, there's people that will say the same thing about them. Where it's like, oh yeah, they're way better back in the day when they're, like, you know, younger, you know, more, you know, they have more ability to do just whatever drug stuff. Yeah. It's like, you know, honestly, I mean, like, any of these fucking bands would pretty much, you know, be able to have that fucking, you know, critique. Because, I mean, yeah, like, most of them were already doing, like, a bunch of drugs back in the day. And most of them probably have stopped doing that by that point. Or at least by this point. And the ones that are still, you know, playing this shit, I mean, I don't know, I've seen a few of them. Like, I've seen The Who, Journey, Kiss recently. I've seen Iron Man multiple times, and they still all, you know, rocking it live. I don't know. It's not like, I mean, it's, I don't know. If anything, I think they're actually kind of, you know, in some ways more badass, because now they have, like, you know, all these cool sets and shit like that, at least when it comes to the more, like, stadium-sized venues and shit. So, it's like, you know, during those, like, shows, I mean, you get some really cool, like, performances out of it. Where back in the day, they didn't really have those type of venues or really just the means to make crazy shit like that. Outside of things like pyrotechnics and stuff. So if anything, there's a little bit more ability to have a really cool, like, lively stage, you know, when it comes to a lot of these shows. That was pretty fucked up on alcohol way back in the 80s, so his memory's probably pretty patchy. It probably, yeah, that probably plays a major role in it. I imagine that would probably make it hard to remember a lot of that. And maybe cloud his judgment, too. Let's see what we got going on for it. His judgment was never that great to begin with. Touche. Oh, the road to the shut-in true crime gauntlet. Well, I'm not going to be a shut-in, but I'm definitely going to be having that in the background while I work for a little bit and then go on about and have some fun. You did never use a condom after all. Oh, God. One of those dumbasses. Oof. You know, that probably implies that there's probably, you know, you probably have, you know, unknown amount of brothers or sisters that probably exist out there. Now, being serious, like, there honestly, unironically, might be, like, you know, like a brother or a sister that you legit are just not aware of. Nor is your dad, probably. You know, at least when he was around and shit, I'm pretty sure even he probably didn't know. Just a mystery, you know, sibling that you're probably never going to know about, but probably does exist out there. I only know 2 siblings. Well, considering that if your dad back in the day going to these, you know, shows and parties, stuff like that, and having unprotected sex like that, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, especially if he was, like, following Motley Crue around for a while after a certain point. Like, I mean, you know, the idea of him being committed to, like, any chick that might try to find him, be like, yeah, you may be pregnant, or some shit. I mean, that ain't happening. So it's like, I mean, he's, like, off to the next town by the time, you know, the chick realizes, oh, fuck, wait a minute. So, like, I don't know, you know, like, I wouldn't be surprised. My other schizo, I don't act with him either. I wouldn't either if that was the case. I mean, if anything, you know, it's like, at that point, I mean, I just, you know, only consider him brother just on technicality. It's like, alright, yeah, technically you are, but don't want to undo you. Most of my brother, I've, you know, been able to kind of, you know, work things out and shit with him. Because, like, I mean, for a while, like, we were kind of like, you know, or at least, you know, more, not really like having animosity or shit, but at least, like, you know, would not exactly, you know, like, a good relationship necessarily. But after, like, the last, like, couple of years, that's, you know, kind of switched around now at this point, so. Where we're actually, you know, kind of chilling. Things are all good, so it's like, sweet. I don't act like my cousins either. They're all crazy conservatives. Well, that's why, at least for me, you know, sometimes family doesn't have to just be by blood, right? I mean, it's plenty of times and instances where, you know, family is obviously not by blood, and yet, you know, sometimes it is certainly way stronger than the blood family, you know, so to speak. So, you know, because to me, you know, having, you know, or being family or being a part of that, you know, isn't inherently just, you know, based off of, like, you know, some bloodline or some shit. It's part of it, you know, because obviously you have your family, you know, when it comes to that, but, you know, but then you also have, like, you know, your closest friends and shit like that, that you consider like a brother or a sister type of thing. Or, like, you know, just, like, people that, you know, that you kind of would essentially, you know, like treat them like as if they were. And I got friends like that. So, where it's like, obviously they're not really like family, so to speak, you know, but I treat them like that. And call them that, you know, at the end of the day, too. A better uncle wants to vote for DeSantis. I say better because he's a pleasant person to be around compared to the other one. I mean, I guess that isn't really as big of a deal to me because DeSantis is flopped like a fish. To the point where arguably Nikki Haley's got better numbers than him. Like, they're pretty much tied at this point. Not that it means anything, obviously. I just think it kind of shows that Nikki might, you know, be Trump's Veep. Because I think that's realistically is probably what's going to happen. Well, I bet Money Agnar would be furious if Nikki managed to win. I don't know about, like, outright furious. I think I would have, like, a weird, I don't know. I think for me, I wouldn't be as, like, you know, I don't know. Like, I feel like I would probably honestly have, like, a weird, like, mixed feeling of, like, well, fuck. You know, but the thing is, I don't see Nikki Haley trying to, like, you know, destroy democracy, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least in, like, a Trumpian-style way. Like, I mean, DeSantis or Trump, especially him, like, they are both likely to do that. Nikki Haley, I don't think so. She's many things, but I don't think she's that. So, I mean, all things considered, like, she would do a lot of damage, especially when it comes to, like, labor, but the thing is, with it already being a major rising tide, and, you know, being something that is already kind of growing and on the rise as it is, I think she'll just, like, be stirring a hornet's nest when she tries to push shit like that. And honestly, I think would, you know, like, have kind of a Streisand, like, effect where, in order to try to bust them up, they're actually, you know, she's actually, you know, making it more radicalized in the sense of, you know, going out and walking out or doing massive strikes or doing like a strike on Washington and shit. I mean, so I don't know. I think she'd be stirring up a hornet's nest that she doesn't, you know, she better fucking back off from. You know, because it's easy to do that in a state like, you know, like South Carolina or whatever the fuck. But, you know, when it comes to the entire country, that's a different ballgame there. It's easy, you know, when it comes to, like, you know, being a governor of a fucking state, you know, but just because, you know, it's just a lot more kind of under the radar, and people aren't really going to notice that. But when you're a fucking president, that's a whole different thing. Especially if it impacts people's bottom line. From striking workers nationally. Oh, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, she would do anything and everything. She would basically pull a Reagan and, like, fire all, like, you know, how he fired all the ATC workers on strike back in the 80s and shit, which, like, you know, started a lot of the beginnings of, like, the union busting that he was doing and shit as president. Like, she would do that. I mean, she would be doing shit like that. The thing is, like, you know, unlike, you know, Reagan's era where, you know, a lot of these workers and a lot of the conditions were, you know, at least broadly, you know, better in comparison to now, like, you know, there isn't really this sense of, like, if that were to happen, people just being complicit with it or being complacent. I mean, that, you know, because, you know, those type of conditions just aren't there. Like, it's way worse, you know, as it stands right now. So if that were to happen, like, it wouldn't be the same type of reaction that, you know, happened back then. it would definitely be a lot more of aggressive, you know, reaction against something like that. So, I mean, it's like, don't get me wrong, she would be absolutely a fucking threat, at least when it comes to labor, but, you know, I wouldn't be as really worried about it. I'm just kind of more, you know, for me, it would be more like, you know, like, what would her, you know, like, some of her extra little bit of detail to it be? Like, when it comes to, like, police reaction, or, like, you know, violence, you know, against those strike workers and shit. Definitely be suppressed, but if they defected, that's, dude, that, okay, the military doesn't get involved with that shit. It's, like, already, like, I mean, it's a little, just, like, absurd on the face of it. They sent cops. The only time military gets set in, if it, like, the Battle of Blair Mountain happened. Like, I mean, if the Battle of Blair Mountain 2 Electric Boogaloo starts popping off, then the military's getting sent in. But unless something happens, you know, like that, the military ain't getting involved in this. There's no reason. Again, unless the only reason is if, like, the Battle of Blair Mountain 2 Electric Boogaloo happened. Oh, Greg got me there. Yeah, because I was about to be like, wait a minute, dude. Like, hold up. Yeah, but, yeah, they'll just send in the cops. And the thing is, like, at least as it stands now, like, they couldn't really do much unless there's, like, something, you know, that, you know, they could, you know, perceive as, you know, like, violent or, you know, not exactly in accordance to just, like, you know, peaceful strike. Which is also the reason why, you know, having, you know, strikes be as peaceful as possible on your end is, you know, what's really important with that. Gotta make sure that, you know, like, you end up being looking, like, this is, like, one of the few things where, like, you know, having the high ground, so to speak, is legit a good thing. Would leave the police unions alone for some strange reason. Well, of course. She'll fucking defend the police left and right. Go. What's up, little doggo? You know, honestly, speaking of which, since we're kind of, like, partially on the topic, I did actually email Voosh. I hit up the horse. I hit him up, dude. It gave me a automated little thing being like, because we get so many emails, you know, it's like, you know, we'll have this automated thing sent, you know, and we'll try to get back. I'm just like, okay, cool. So, watch Voosh call you a child. I mean, honestly, implying that we're going to be swinging punches and shit. I mean, I'm going to go in there being cordial and just, like, if, you know, trying to, if anything, you know, just throw out an olive branch, so to speak. You know, at least when it comes to, like, you know, what, you know, at least something, you know, that can be taken positively that isn't just simply electoralism, bruh. I didn't really overtly mention it, but I do kind of want to tie in that, you know, like, you know, I kind of want to at least kind of mention that as, like, a critique to an extent. Like, because, like, I mean, I feel like the advocacy here, since, like, the electoral argument is not compatible, really, with most lefties, and ends up being a major turnoff, you know, maybe it would be better to, like, prioritize, you know, these arguments and just kind of save the, you know, vote Joe Biden thing until the nomination, if that's what you truly want to advocate for. Personally, I'd rather, you know, you use this opportunity to fuck on Biden in every way, you know, possible under the sun, because it's a primary. Like, that's what primaries are for, you know, like, so, you know, it's, but if it's, like, but I'm not going to try to make it, like, the core element of it, so I'm just going to be like, look, you know, if that's what you truly believe at the end of the day, then just leave it until the nomination or some shit, because, I mean, because it's not something that people are exactly, you know, looking at, you know, with, you know, positivity. Like, especially when it comes to the consistent, you know, just gotta vote, bruh. Unless someone makes me. I mean, yeah, like, and the condescending, smug, type of shit, when it comes to that, whole, like, advocacy, so to speak, is just fucking ridiculous. I mean, it turns people away, honestly, when it comes to that. And I just think that instead of, having the focus, beyond electoralism and, like, what Biden is or isn't doing, because, like, frankly, at the end of the day, like, does our voice truly fucking matter? Because he literally sidestepped Congress to give weapons and ammunition to Israel, for fuck's sake. Like, his mind is certainly, like, set and convicted on one way. He has his mind set, on his whole position and opinion about this. So it's like, and he ain't budging. So, it's like, at this point, the fuck you want? It's like, I mean, because that's a major fucking deal breaker for a lot of people, including me. And at the end of the day, it's like, I don't think, anything someone's going to say one way or the other is going to change on this. So just, basically I'm saying just drop it. It's not, it's like something that, people shouldn't be focusing on so goddamn much. Like, unless they're going to try to challenge him, and advocate, for a primary challenger, because, again, primaries, that's why we have them, then, I don't know, it's like, it's one of those things where I just don't want to hear it. When it comes to voting, I'm like a Chinese finger trap. The more force someone applies, the more I dig my heels. Yeah. You went into his pre-programmed practice in front of a mirror post. Kids asking his questions, got stuck here. Oh my god! What the hell, dude? Why? Oh my god! Dude, dude, he literally had a factory reset. Dude, he's not a human, dude. That is a robot. That is a robot, construction of, like, an alien race from the planet Ugluskadath, out from, like, the other side of the galaxy, bro. Like, I mean, hell no. Those, like, Ugluskadath aliens, dude. Don't fuck with them, bro. Like, I mean, because dude, like, this is what happens. Now they're sending in their demon mutant robot things. Like, oh god. You got your dick stuck in a Chinese figure trap as a teenager. You're supposed to push in so it expands. Yeah, like, you push it in so it expands, and then you can just, like, hold on to it, and then you can pull it out. You got a song? What's this? It's Irish punk. I was 13. Well, that's not really much of an excuse. Like, I knew that when I was 13. It makes sense if you're, like, 8. But that's when you live and learn. Because that's what happened with me. I was, like, 8 or something. And then I realized, oh, this is how you get it out. And then I, from there, just... I taught everyone else, and I was the enlightened one. Venom, stop. Zukov, oh my god, you're the neediest little cunt. You had a bunch of food and you ate it all already? This was full when I started this, and you ate all of it, now you want more? You are a vacuum cleaner, speaking of. Hey. What the little fruit? God, Sukov is just like a needy little bitch. Oh my God, I was hoping that, you know, Vin would stop talking about it by the time he came back, but of course not. Just be entering the point a little more. Ugh. Aye. Catch up on time you missed while you were gone. Yeah, I guess he is. You goofy doggo. You goofy doggo. What? Why are you so needy? A cup of ice cream, are you okay with this during the winter? I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't I? Because that looks good. I'd totally eat that. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Dry cleaners I rented sucks from hating me for that. I mean, why? Like, seriously. Why not? Because that's gross and ridiculous and absurd. You're trying to press my date. That's not how you press your date. Like, if you want to press them, do like 5 shots in a row or something. Well, I guess, you know, you wouldn't have that at prom. Unless someone snuck it in or some shit. Now for some venom repellent. Beef Wellington. Oh shit, someone called Gordon Ramsay. Beautiful, beautiful. Looks fucking fire, dude. Hell yeah. Dude, that shit looks so delicious. You did 3 lines of Xannies to impress a different girl later. See, you know, that is trying to impress somebody. See, at least that makes sense. I don't even know what that is. It's a beef Wellington. It's like Gordon Ramsay's like favorite dish or whatever the fuck. Never heard of it. Well, of course, because your food tastes are blander and drier than the Sahara Desert. Not a speck of flavor to be found. Not a speck of flavor. Sounds bougie. I mean, you can make it bougie, I guess. I mean, beef Wellingtons aren't necessarily, like, inherently bougie. I mean, it's, like, got all sorts of different shit, like, involved with it. Like, I mean, it's, like I said, you could, but, I mean, a lot of what's, you know, needed to make it, like, you could have in your, you know, pantry, basically, so to speak. I mean, it's just a process. Which, honestly, there's a lot of, you know, dishes that can be pretty cheap but have complicated process in making. So, just because it's kind of a complicated dish doesn't inherently make it bougie. Here. I've had teriyaki in almost a week of feeding. Use that as an opportunity to enlighten yourself with, like, other flavors that are actually worth a shit. The world ain't just nothing but teriyaki, bro. There's more to it than just that. Bobby. Hi, pup. Hello. You truly are being kind of annoying tonight, are you? The Waffle House next to the hotel's fire, though the fucked up my burger. I had to remake it afterwards, and it was fire. How about you just enjoy the burger for what the fuck it is when they give it to you? Like, I've had, you know, orders messed up, and at this point, I don't even give a fuck. I just go ahead and just, like, chow down on that bad boy like I don't give a shit. Because, you know what? Tastes good anyway. Tomato, pickles. Just pick the tomatoes out! Oh my god, dude, you're a fucking little pussy. Fucking bitch over here, bro. God, like, I don't like mayo and tomato, but, dude, pickles, ketchup, mustard, yeah, some onions. I think having nothing but teriyaki on your food can cause death considering the sodium content. Yeah. Dude, I guarantee you, like, half of his blood is just, like, salt. Half of his blood is salt, dude. Had to be remake it. Dude, people like you that come into businesses are like, oh my god, and then, like, even though it's totally fine, it's like, bruh. So I left a $12 tip for the troubles. Well, alright, well, fair enough. You bribed them with a little money, so you made him feel better. I just hope that at least one of them ate that instead. You know, I don't know if there's a phobia for this, but I don't like it and it scares me. Oh my god! Lindsay and Teeny Fate Bean Girls? Bean Girls? What the fuck? Oh my god. What? Oh, it's an ad. Oh, okay, whatever. God, fuck it. Dude, oh my... Okay. That's just, that was something. That was certainly something, Rose. Louisiana has to spell it. Can't place it, but it stinks here. Yeah, Louisiana has got that swamp, you know, piss smell to it. Mmm, smells fresh, don't it? Pastor dies after 30 days of fasting to beat Jesus record. Get fucked, poser! The real JC. Oh my god. Fucking yes. Mary Pippin trying to find some weed pipe in the ruins of Isengard. Oh my god, look at these fat chonks. They be some goddamn chonks, dude. Oh my god, they're so cute. Holy shit. Oh my god, that fat little fuck, dude. That fat just that, dude. The way it just sits there, that fat bastard, dude. My god. Chunks. Gonna be in Dallas tomorrow and the day after. Songwriter Snyder and then Porter Alice. Nice. Alone is more than 600 miles to my destination. Yeah, it's a very big state. Very big state with a lot of roads. You're gonna realize, like, how much just absurd, like, urban maze nightmare feel it's gonna be when you see the roads. It's not like the roads are utterly fucked or anything necessarily, but they're everywhere. There's like roads next to roads, roads on top of roads, roads within roads, toll roads beside other roads. It's just like, fuck, dude. It's a nightmare. Like, it gave me fucking anxiety just, like, sitting as a passenger driver, having my family drive around. It's like, do these motherfuckers understand how to, like, I don't know, condense everything down to, like, you know, one major highway or something? Or, like, one big freeway, you know, and then have, like, different exits, you know, in that way, instead of, like, 8 gajillion roads? And on top of that, like, I mean, do they know what sidewalks are? Is that a thing that, you know, like, that they're capable of understanding? Outside of, like, little downtown, you know, Main Street areas in their cities? Like, beyond that, there's, like, dirt for sidewalks? Like, I mean, the fuck? How do you think I feel while navigating for Mom? Oh, it's gonna be a lot more of a nightmare, dude. Dude, you're going to love Texas, my brother. Like, oh, you're gonna love it, and by love it, you're gonna fucking hate every second of it. Dude, oh, you're going to... Dude, it's gonna be nightmare fuel, bro. I'm not kidding. You're probably gonna be the most stressed out trying to get into Dallas, and I'm being serious. Like, your stress levels are probably gonna spike during that. Like, I'm being serious. I'm not kidding. Because, like I said, I got family out there, so I know how it is. I know how that shit is out there, and it's a fucking nightmare, bro. Dude, trying to get out of the airport and get to the airport was fucking nightmare fuel. Like, oh my god, okay. Oh, god. It's like they, oh my god, it's like they, Why do you think I'm such a huge proponent of, like, pedestrian base infrastructure and shit? Because I look at places like Texas and it's, like, gives me a fucking aneurysm. Like, there just ain't no way. Make sure I have full gas tank, not more stress-inducing than, okay, gas looks good sometime later. Getting kind of low, better stop for gas tank near red. Any second now, on red. Any second now. Where's the gas stations? Well, luckily, there are enough, like, a little small bumpkin towns that will probably have at least a, you know, gas pump. So, I mean, honestly, I mean, at least, you know, for getting gas, it hopefully shouldn't be a problem. And by fit, I mean, it starts, not turn on. You might want to get that looked at once you finally settle in Port Alice. Just probably. Battling this issue for months. Nothing to replace on seems to fix it. Well, I don't know anything about automobiles, so I wouldn't be able to tell you on that one. Honestly, I'm assuming it probably would have something to do with, like, the ignition or maybe, like, the fuel line or something like that. I don't know. I would think maybe it has something to do with the fuel line because, like, if it has that issue when it gets below half a tank, then maybe that has something to do with it. Like, maybe, like, the fuel line is a little weaker, you know, because it's not as much gas in the tank. I'm just taking a random guess, like, you know, just based off my lack of any knowledge on automotives, but if I had to take a guess, that would probably be it. I mean, obviously, you know, I would probably refer to an actual professional on this, but, I mean, that would just be my educated guess on the issue. Or I guess, realistically, uneducated guess. But still. Considering I don't know anything about vehicles, I mean, I would figure that, you know, for what I do know, that would probably be it. Better enjoy the 2-ish months of cold come May. Because come May, it's just gonna be fire and death, dude. Guess I'm gonna cook in the summer of New Mexico. Well, hey, get a tan going. Get a tan going, you know, get some rays. I'm staying inside my AC like I've always done. I mean, when it's like sweltering hot, I mean, to be fair, that's understandable. We'll shut it. Well, once you get all settled in there, and we planned all the time for me to visit you, and you come up here, I'm changing that. We're going to get Venom out of his shed. We're going to break him and crack him like an egg. But, anyway. Gonna get myself to work and all that fun shit. I'm gonna see if we can get that bitch closed up early so I can have fun doing some stuff, you know, for New Year's. So, and I think when I stream again, it'll actually probably be technically next year, because probably not gonna stream when I come back home, because I'm probably gonna be out and about all night. So, anywho, up this out, and of course, Happy New Year's, enjoy yourselves and all that fun stuff, and have a good one.